Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. I Surbhi Goyal and legal intern at Lex Click. So today we are going to discuss a very famous landmark judgment on A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras 1950 AR. So first of all, let me give you the introduction of the case. So this case is one of the most common and known cases. This is the first case held by the Apex Court in which various articles of the Constitution of India contained in the chapter on fundamental rights and were discussed. The main article like Article 19, 21 and 22 were dealt with in the case. Nearly after 30 years of this case, the Apex Court did away with the restrictive view of the rights embraced therein by Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. So, nevertheless, for the jurisprudence of fundamental rights in India, it still makes an important part of abolition. The most conspicuous feature of this case is its dissenting verdict given by the Justice Fazl Ali, one or two dissenting judges up in a six judges bench. So the dissenting judgment given by him back in 1950 went on to become an example of personal liberty and liberalized viewpoint on the fundamental rights. So now we'll talk about the fact of the case. In this particular case, the petition was made by Dr. A.K. Gopalan, by Mr. A.K. Gopalan under Article 32 Clause 1 of the Constitution of India in pursuance of an order made under Preventive Detention Act 1950. A writ of habeas corpus was filed against his detention. Mr. A.K. Gopalan was a communist leader, and since December 1947 he had been under detention as imprisonment under the ordinary criminal laws. He was convicted and sentenced. However, these convictions were overruled by the court. A.K. Gopalan, when detained on 1st March 1950, was served upon an order. A.K. Gopalan, when ordered by the state government of Madras, made under Section 3, Clause 1 of the particular act, which basically confers upon the state or central government. After then he challenged in the court the legitimacy of the order under the act on the ground that the act violates human fundamental rights as the provisions given under Article 13, 19 and 21. And the provisions of this Act 4 of 1950 of Madras State are not conformity with Article 22 of Indian Constitution. Mr. Gopalan also contended that the order issued was nullified. So there were mainly two issues in this case. So first was whether the Detention Act of Madras State contravened the provisions of Article 19 and 21 of the Indian Constitution, and the second issue was whether the State Detention Act 1950 provisions in accordance with Article 22 of the Indian Constitution. So the arguments were in the case of A.K. Gopalan versus the State of Madras. It was held by the majority judges that punitive and preventive detention were outside the ambit of Article 19 of the Constitution of India, and hence the Preventive Detention Act 1950 had not violated it. So it was only contended by the court that the said article which provides protection of citizens who are free, therefore not citizens whose freedom is restrained by law, and the question of enforcing Article 19 Clause 1 does not rise. So the Preventive Detention Act 1950 was followed by the valid procedure as in form enacted by the states, you can say by the state's law, and therefore the Apex Court came upon the argument and it does not infringe upon the rights under Article 21 of Indian Constitution. Various other provisions of the Preventive Detention Act 1950 are covered under Article 22, and those which are not are added through the effective Article 21. The Apex Code held that the Section 3 of the Act was justified, and as it was valid to provide such discretionary powers to the executive. In addition, with the majority court also agreed upon the validity of Section 7 and 11 of the Preventive Detention Act 1950, as under Article 2 Clause 7 Subclause B of the Parliament has not mandatory power to set a minimum detention period, and under Article 22 Clause 5 and 22 Clause 6 the right of representation which ought to be heard verbally are not necessary. Section 14 of the said Act was also declared ultra vires because it contained the court's right to determine the validity of the detention. So the judgment was for A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras was held by the Supreme Court of India of the section of the Preventive Detention Act 4 of 1950 has infringed the provisions of Part 3 of the Constitution bearing Section 14 of the Act, restricting the declaration of the grounds of detention. Section 14 of the Preventive Detention Act of 1950 were declared ultra vires. Nonetheless, the declaration by the court did not affect the validity of the use of the Act as a whole. So, the important dissent was given by Fazil Ali, as he said, the court, when analyzing fundamental rights violations, need to coordinately interpret the various articles under Part 3 of the Constitution of India and not merely as silos. Further, Section 12 and Section 14 of the Act, while contravening Article 22 of the Indian Constitution, were also contended to violating freedom and personal liberty of the individual. Moreover, Justice Mahajan differed in his conclusion and holding Section 12 to be ultra vires, while agreeing to the majority judge's interpretation. So, after life, that is A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, after life of the deciding of the case, the fundamental rights through the reasoning of procedural by the due process are now read separately as interpreted in the A.K. Gopalan case, which was de-announced, and understand the substantive due process which was brought in and for the upcoming case. In the case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, the Apex Court held that the procedure of Article 21 has to be just, fair and reasonable, and also should be in accordance with the principles of equality and freedom under Article 13 and 19 of the Indian Constitution. Thus, the provision of fundamental rights were established to be read together. So, that's all for today. I hope you understand the case, and we'll meet tomorrow, and please do subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.